We were talking about before, it begins at home. Elaborate on that more, please.
Like, I don't think like people, Indians living in America, I don't think they think such a thing anymore, like any hateness against Pakistan or something like that. No, why? Because as time passes, people get more educated. They get to know what's right, what's wrong, and at that time, people didn't know that. And after like a decade, after 1947, after a decade, people still were really angry for what happened because the wound was still fresh and people were still wondering. But now, I don't think people think anymore like that, especially the young generation, because they know what's right, what's wrong, and they just want to move forward. And I don't think in America, there's still a lot of people back in India and Pakistan who think like have a lot of hateness for both each other, but not here. Like, I've seen so many good Indians who have helped me. Like, I've received help from more Indians, less Pakistanis. Not that I'm saying Pakistan are not good, but they're good, but I've received more help from Indians.
Because here, when we come here, we are Americans.
Yeah.
We don't think each other as Indian or Pakistani.
Everyone's human. Like, humans first, religion later. That's the best part about America.
If you had obviously you are Pakistani.
Yeah.
If you have a Indian girlfriend.
Yeah, I would not mind. If she's beautiful, why would I mind?
How about your parents?
No, they would never. They would never. Because I tell you, this is a new generation.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure. Like, if she's beautiful, if she's amazing, like, she's like the perfect wife material or girlfriend material, they won't think she's Indian or anything.
How about you, Akash?
My parents would be the same way. However, I would say that although this is the trend in America, right, that, you know, as the generations are getting, you know, more and more into the future, this is becoming less and less of an issue. There is still that feeling of, you know, protectiveness, I guess, would be the best word. For instance, one of my friends in high school, she has, you know, a boyfriend who is not, she's Indian, and her boyfriend is American. He's, you know, white. And her parents would not be okay with that. She actually has to, you know, kind of hide him a little bit from them. And so there is still the, you know, orthodox mentality in some pockets of America. But for the most part, I definitely agree that, you know, like, for instance, my parents, his parents would be totally okay.
How
about mine?
Oh, I know my parents. I mean, some of my family members, you know, they've married Indians, but it's not that they've married. The world is changing now.
I tell you something. Even though we like to think that way, but the parents like to think differently. And it's not the reason is religion. It could be many other things. Anyway, but we are not going there. And as we are talking about 1947, we are here to discuss what happened that time and what was the impact of being a 10-year-old if you witnessed that. I want you to tell each one very briefly, if you witnessed 1947 and you were 10 years old, and today you were 80, what would you feel?
That would have been terrible. I mean, the trauma stays forever. It stays in your mind, doesn't get out. So it would have been terrible to live with that horrible scenes and, you know, horrific stuff. So it would have been absolutely devastating.
Akash?
Yeah, if I lost my sister or one of my parents or some of my closest friends, like that, I would, like, you know, a lot of people do, remember Indian independence not as this great political movement of, you know, freedom, but I would just mourn for the loss of people who, you know, were central to my life.
What if you did not lose anybody, you just witnessed that kind of a madness?
So then it would be more just like chaos, really. Like, why? Like, what? I would still, I mean, I think my whole life, or like a great part of my life, would be just trying to understand how this wild situation could have erupted and how we can make sure it doesn't happen again, because it's still happening in the world. There's still places where we need to resolve these types of tensions, and I think that would be, you know, how I would try my best to channel it positively as opposed to just breaking down.
Well, I must congratulate you, Akash, by taking the first step, co-writing the book Beyond Milestone with Surinder Mitraji, with your grandfather, that which really shares people the agony and the sadness of what happened that time. So you have taken that step.
Through literature, through telling these stories, through pitching them in, you know, analytical ways that don't just, you know, present the facts like a lot of history books do, but really get into the emotionality of it and get into the philosophy of it. Hopefully we can make sure that people are aware of these types of things and that they are able to prevent it in the future.
How each one of you will pay tribute, kind of, you know, like like I will say, Rab sabnu mat dave. May God bless wisdom to everyone in all circumstances to do the right thing. If you were to pay a tribute, kind of your homage to that partition of August 1947, what would you say?
For the people who like lost their
If
lives.
you were to pay the homage,
for
in
the
briefly,
people.
2 lines, 3 lines.
Well, I would make all the people proud. I would like make sure their sacrifice didn't go in waste. I would make them proud by changing what happened that time.
I would say that was a very dark part of history in a lot of ways. But moving forward, we see that now. Look at India and look at Pakistan, some of the strongest economies, most rapidly growing regions on the earth, and there's still a lot of problems with the countries. Right, independence didn't solve everything. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of poverty.
No, we are not going there.
But we're not going there.
We're not
Exactly.
going there.
But this moment in 1947 can really be remembered as there was a lot of bad that happened, but let's look forward, let's keep moving, and let's try to make sure that in modern day we can prosper as much as we can.
You know what? I would look a little bit before 1940. Say, hey, look, we were one before. Why can't we live in peace now again? What happened was bad, but let's, hey, look, we used to live 2 days ago. August 10th, 1947, we were friends, and August 14th, we wanted to kill each other. So hey, look, we can take lessons from the past. What happened was bad, but that was bad part of our history, and let's move forward. And
what do you think can be done for the future to not to nurture this kind of a hatred between Hindus, Muslims, and Pakistanis, Indians? What do you think can be done for the future?
I think people should be educated about like what's right, and I don't think this sort of thing would happen again because people know now it's not the same time, it's not the same all time. And I mean, the best thing that we can do to educate people about what's right through media. Media is the best source to give people the knowledge, like not to do such a thing again. And I think that's what media has been doing. Like, media has been doing the right stuff and the wrong stuff at the same time. Like the movies, like I've seen so many Pakistani stars going to India, casting in their movies, and that's what we feel really proud. We're really happy about India, and we're not jealous or something like why did you go there? No, it's not like that. We are happy to see that.
So open your heart, be open to everybody.
Yeah.
That's how we can stop for the future?
Yeah, and I think the best way to achieve that maybe is through, what we've kind of done today, integration, right? Like I've met these two wonderful gentlemen, and, in our experiences in America, like there's a lot of, meeting people from different ethnicities, from different cultures, from different religions, and once they become one of your friends, once you love them, you start to really appreciate the culture as a whole. And I think that's a big thing that if it could start happening more in India and Pakistan, especially from a young age, where people meet other children, other teenagers, and they get along, they play cricket together, that's sort of the way to really unite and recognize, we're all human. It's not like, you're an American, you're an Indian, you're a Pakistani, you're from this part. Like, no, we all have similar tastes in music, sports, culture, etc.
So I would say, as I always said that, we can all agree that sometime we can disagree.
Yeah.
You're right.
But we still all will be loving to each other. And I'm so happy that even through media even, we are telling our audience, love everybody. And at the same time, enjoy the Independence Day with a independence from your own dark side. That's what we should be getting the independence from. Our small thinking, our hatred, our narrow thinking, our fundamental orthodox beliefs. So those are the kind of things we should get the freedom from. So we can toast to the freedoms of everybody today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening. And please, the audience, take this love further and further and further so we never witness again 1947 of the killing and all those things what happened that time. Thank you.